Hello, today we'll be replacing the front brakes on a 2010 Dodge Avenger. And the first thing you want to do is loosen the front wheel while you have it on the floor. And then you want to lift the vehicle till the wheel's off the ground. You always want to use a jack stand underneath as well. And we can now completely remove the lug nuts and remove the wheel. And you will notice that this rotor is completely glazed to the point where it looks reflective as a mirror. And the surface has many hot spots due to the fact that the rotor is so glazed. And with a glazed surface, the brake pads have less grip, requiring more effort to slow down, which creates more heat. So let's begin this assembly of these front brakes. And you will need a 14mm socket to loosen and remove the two front brake caliper bolts. And you want to pay attention to which bolt came out of which hole, as they are different. And once you got both pins removed, you can now remove the caliper. And I just hang the brake caliper from the strut. And next you will need an 18mm socket to loosen the brake caliper bracket bolts. Now would be a good time to remove the brake pads while we're at it. Here you will notice that the brake pad had very little material left, and you will notice the brake tab that was rubbing. And the same goes with this other brake pad. Now that we got the brake pads removed, we can now completely remove the brake caliper bracket. And once we got the bracket removed, we could just pull off the rotor. And these are the new brake pads and the new rotors that I'll be using. And you want to use a brake cleaner to clean off any anti-corrosion coating that your new brake rotor might have. And you want to do the same on the other side. And we can now install the new brake hardware on the brake caliper bracket. And you want to add some brake lubricant to the brake pad contact points. You don't need to add that much, all you need is a little bit. And all it needs is a light coat. And you want to wipe off any excess on the inside corners so it does not get on the new brake rotor. And we can now go ahead and install the new brake rotor. And next, the caliper bracket. And you want to hold it in position while you install the bolts. And you want to be sure to tighten them as much as you can by hand so you do not risk damaging the threads. And next you want to make sure to tighten them using a ratchet and torque them to spec. On some brake pads you may have to install this brake warning tab. All you have to do is slide it in. And next we want to add brake lubricant to the contact points of the brake pads. It works best if you use your old brake pads as reference. And we can now go ahead and install the brake pads. And you want to slide in one edge first and then the other. You want to make sure to lubricate these brake caliper pins. This will help your brake pads wear out more evenly. And we can now go ahead and compress the brake caliper. And you want to use a disc brake spreader and an old brake pad. And as you compress your brake caliper, you want to keep an eye on the brake fluid level. Because as you compress your brake caliper, the brake fluid returns back to the master cylinder. And we can now go ahead and install the brake caliper. And you want to hold it in place while you install the two bolts. And once you got them both installed and tightened as much as you can by hand, you can now use a ratchet to tighten it and torque it to spec. And we are now ready to reinstall the wheel. And you want to hold the hubcap and the wheel in position while you install the bolts. And you want to tighten the bolts with the ratchet before lowering the vehicle. Now we can remove the jack stand and lower the vehicle. And we can now torque the lug nut bolts to spec. And the last thing you want to do is pump the brake pedal a few times before driving off. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful and informative. Please hit that like button to support the channel and subscribe.